Welcome back to the Women Entrepreneurs Series. I'm Kristen Price, your host, and I'm so privileged to introduce to you guys Michelle O'Connor. And I'm going to read you her bio. If you have a goal for your life, Michelle knows how to help you think strategically to make it happen. A believer in following one's dream, even when no one else is cheering you on, Michelle O'Connor has danced to the beat of her drum all the way from the inner city community to creating an abundant life from which she is now giving back to others. Michelle marries her corporate experience and knowledge of strategic planning and execution along with real life experiences to help entrepreneurs push towards goals. Michelle is focused on coaching entrepreneurs design plans that will see them achieving success in their business. Michelle has reached hundreds of entrepreneurs through her purpose-driven conference, which is geared at providing strategies to entrepreneurs to support their drive towards success. She has also worked in Jamaica, Dominican Republic, along with Trinidad and Tobago, supporting the development of strategic plans to drive business growth. Being a mother and wife, Michelle knows what it is like to push towards creating a brighter future for the next generation, and in doing so, create space for family and loved ones. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you again, Miss Michelle O'Connor.
Woo! Ladies, and thanks for having me, Kristen. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to have you, along with just being my friend and sister, but I respect you so much in what you do for the world, you know, being an international coach and speaker, and just what you do. I mean, you do so many things, but I wanted to bring you onto this show because today, ladies, if you need some help in getting life in order, in planning strategies, Michelle is your girl. And Michelle, I wanted to start with talking about how did you even get started in planning strategically? How did you get the mindset to start doing that?
So, hi again, everyone, and thank you so much for having me on. It's really an honor and a pleasure when you're able to reach lives and touch people. So, I would have, I say I started when I was in corporate, but when I look back at my life, I think I started way before then, right? So, in my bio, you would have heard about where I started from. And when I look at my life now, I realize that I was only able to be here because I was planning. But the Lord would have had me go into corporate to kind of get some more structure. So I do strategic planning at a corporate level. And I remember I was at a conference once and persons were talking about growing their business. At that time, I mean, I had little horses on the side, but it wasn't anything that was structured. And I remember just listening to persons say they weren't sure what they needed to do to move to the next level. I'm like, I could do that. You know, I can help you with that. And it was in having that conversation, I'm like, you have been blessed to get all of this experience and all of this abundant knowledge. It's now time for you to give back. And so I started supporting entrepreneurs with organizing their business. And in doing that, organizing their business, I realized that a lot of us are stuck because our lives are not organized to support not just our business, but many other things in our life. And so over the past few years, it's just been my joy. You know, every time somebody is planning a birthday party, oh, let Michelle do it. We're planning a trip for the family. Let Michelle do it. And I'm like, guys, I just want to come and enjoy myself, or I just want you to call and say, show up. But I realize that it is something that I have. And when that is a thing that persons call on you for all the time, that is your gift. That is what you're born to create and give back to life. And so that is how I got started, and just continue to help entrepreneurs, especially, but just people in general. You know, I realize you need to create that vision for your life and get it mobilized and get it moving, and then you can have everything else kind of follow suit.
That's awesome. So you have the gift of doing it, but then you also have a background in education, correct? I'm not sure exactly. What was your major in college?
Yeah. So I did both my master's and my first degree in business administration. However, as I moved into corporate and I started doing strategic planning for one of the third largest organizations, financial institutions here in Jamaica, I realized that there is something else that you get. So I do strategic planning. You think about the company wants to grow and they set their revenue target. You have your targets, and then what are the things that I need to do to get there? And it's no different for your life, and it's no different for your, we call it our side hustle or your entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
You think about, where do I need to be? What's the impact I want to make? And then you line up your life and your activities behind it. So I was privileged to be certified. Actually, I did the certification with a very renowned institution in the United States as well, where I got the tools that are still relevant today. And with everything, you're retrained, but that helps me to always be present to what are the things that was thinking more than anything else that you need to implement in order to drive growth in your business and in your life.
What do you see personally, just your experience in working with entrepreneurs? What is the problem? Like, where are they losing their focus to not get things done?
One of the main things that I've seen is that we are excited about our purpose. We're excited about our vision. We're excited about the things that we want to do, and we want to create everything at once.
Yeah.
You want to think about, I think I did a post on my social media last night about, you want to do your website, your logo, your colors. You want to decide which social media platform you want to use. Like, you want to do everything. And the minute you start thinking about that, it starts feeling overwhelming. And on top of that, because it's something that you are conscious about, you may not have everybody behind you. Have to grapple with, whether it's self-doubt or am I good enough? So when you start thinking about all of this, what happens to entrepreneurs is they now get overwhelmed and they just shrink and they don't move forward.
Right.
So what one of the things that I'm encouraging entrepreneurs to do, and our women who are on today, is just pick 3 things that you want to accomplish. Pick 3 things that you want to work on, and just go at it. Go at it. Don't stop. Develop the habit of pushing through. Develop the habit of not stopping when things go wrong, and also have somebody that you can call and talk to. I can call Kristen. You develop the habit of having somebody that you can call and you can say to them, hey, you know what, this is how I'm feeling today. This is the thing I'm working on. And they give you a little push, and and you keep on going. We do it for so many other things in our lives, Kristen. We do it for when you're a track star or you're swimming. That's the reason you have a coach. Or athletes. I mean, I'm from Jamaica. We have Usain Bolt. He doesn't get up every day and want to run. He didn't when he was running. He never did that. His coach helped him. Right. So our entrepreneurs were trying to boil the ocean and do everything at once, when you just need to pick a few things and work those things for a period, work those things for 3 months, and then you can see some results.
And that was a question I was going to ask you, because you said pick 3 things. So if you say pick 3 things, then is 3 things the most important things? Does it have to do with your business, your life, or do you pick 3 things like in particular business strategy, or what you want?
Yeah, and it's
business.
Yeah, and it depends on the entrepreneur and where they are. Okay. So, for example, if you're trying to grow your business, but like right now we're at home, right, and you have 3 kids that you're homeschooling, and they have to, you have your husband, you have other family obligations. There might be something that you need to work on. Maybe for a period, a part of it is creating a structure for your family. Right. Because, so it really depends on what's happening. If it is that it's for your business and you've already identified the things that you want to work on, we pick those 3. But in working with entrepreneurs, I just normally ask them, just dump all your thoughts on paper or on your tablet. Just all the things that are in your head, write them down. And when they're down, then we have a conversation about it, because you don't want to just zone in on, let's just work on things for the business when there are other things in your life that needs to be structured.
Absolutely.
For me, I used to work out in the morning, and then when I take my son to football or soccer, depending on where you're, and I realized that wasn't working. So I had to stop that. So I gave myself another hour and a half in my day so I could do other things for my business. So things are a trade-off for a while. So it really depends on where the entrepreneur is and what's in their head. And the important thing is to get it all out in front of you so you can look at it and make a decision on what's most important right now, or what is one of the things we use in corporate is that we say, let's put 20% of our energy on something that can give us 80% return. So it's not doing a lot of things, it's just doing that 20% that can give you the 80%.
That's powerful, Michelle. That really is, especially for entrepreneurs. And I say like me that do a lot of things, so when you just have that focus and what I was getting just from what you were saying was you have to think, you have to actually sit down and think. So that takes some time away from the other things to focus.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I can add to that, Kristen, that's another reason I started this journey, because I realized that as an entrepreneur, you're creative. So you get an idea, you want to jump and you want to work on it and you want to do things to have it succeed. But what's missing is that same thing you mentioned, taking the time to think, pausing to think it through. And what my mission is to say to entrepreneurs, large organizations do just that. That's why we have strategic retreats where for one whole.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, I was saying large organizations do just that. Okay. They take the time to think through all the things that they want to do for the next year. That's why they go on retreats. We have a 1-week retreat with all the executives, and we're just locked in a room, go to a hotel or something. But I want to support entrepreneurs with just take a day or two out of the operation and doing everything day to day, and just focus on, let's decide on some goals for your business.
Awesome. So you said, and I'm sorry because the camera went out a little bit, but you said you get locked away into a hotel and you actually strategically focus as a group, like so masterminding team.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And that's even the power of harmony and unity with the group you're working with. Yeah. Or like we're saying, the sharpening of like how we can feed off each other and help each other to go to the next thing. That's interesting. Do you find that it works better when the team is able to get together like that in the beginning? Or should say the people have their own ideas and then they come together with what they want to do, or should they plan together at the time? Does that make sense?
I think it's important for each person to sit and think. So if you're working with a team, there are different ways for you to get the ideas from each person before you come together. Because what happens as individuals, sometimes you come together with somebody else and they have an idea and you start thinking, my idea now doesn't make sense, but it's good if you're able to get it. So if I'm working with corporates, because I do work with corporates as well, like I have a team I'm working with next week, and one of the things I'm doing is I'm getting information from all the persons in that office before I go. I don't need their names, but I need it. So, because I'm an external person coming in, you're able to bring forward that, hey, somebody in here thinks that makes sense, to get it going. Right. So it's important when each person can sit back, get the ideas that they have out of their head first. And then when you come together, now it's a pooling together of all the ideas and all the juices that are there. So your team feels like a part of the planning and a part of the development of the strategy for your business to go forward.
That's powerful, because we talk about connection, and it's like sometimes as business people, we have our own way and we think, okay, we're running this business, this is how it needs to go. But it's like to take the input of the people that actually are putting their hands and feet to the things that they're doing, that input is important. So for how you said to structure that, even for small businesses, wouldn't it make sense to, like, how often should they have a meeting with their teams? What do you think?
I think that you should have a meeting with your team at least once per month. And when we say meeting, sometimes, especially if you're coming from corporate, people think it needs to be this long meeting where, it's just so rigid. And I watched The Crown and I got something from it, where the Queen would meet with the Prime Minister once per week. Was it once per week? But it was like, the idea was that they never met for more than 20 minutes. So the Prime Minister would step in and he would never sit down. And I'm sure it happens to today. They wouldn't sit down. And the reason for that is, she said, my dad would always say that if we can't get through what we need to do in 20 minutes, then it's not we don't have enough time. That needs to be parked for another time. So do the same thing with your team. You know, this is just a power talk to talk about. And that is why the planning is important, because you would have set your goals. Everybody know what they're working on. So your meeting is not to go over those goals. But if you never set the goals in the beginning, you don't know what you're meeting about. And then the meeting just turns into this conversation about fluff and not to the point, you know, not being direct. So when you're meeting with your team, you're talking about goals that you would have set. Did we achieve? Did we not achieve? What do we need to shift? And what I want to say to entrepreneurs, large organizations do exactly this. And my mission is to get you in the framework of doing it. So you're not just always working, but you're taking some time to really sit back and plan and reflect on how you want to grow your business going forward.
Awesome. Like I think about productivity, and like what you're saying is you want to hit the what is it, the nail on the head or whatever they say.
Nail on the head.
And go to where you streamline and to get the job done. So like a lot of times that's what we do. We waste a lot of time that we could be using on something else. Yeah. And that's awesome. What other things do you see entrepreneurs are missing out on that maybe the corporates understand and can structure better? What other things?
They're missing out on collaboration. We sometimes mix up collaboration with competition. And no matter, even in the political arena, no matter how much you see them at each other when they're in parliament, outside of that, they're bouncing ideas off each other and they're talking together. So I think entrepreneurs, we have opportunities to come together, and it doesn't matter if we're offering the same service. Who I'm called to serve is different from who you person is called to serve. And as such, when we sit and talk and sit and share ideas, you know, that makes a big difference. And that is why, even though there is individual coaching, the coming together of the group is important. And entrepreneurs, you have so many ways to do that. You know, you have Facebook groups where you can join and listen and talk and contribute as well. You know, Kristen, we would have known that being in a group and hearing other person's perspective and idea. So even if it's a case where you paid for a training and you learned something and you're sharing it, I'm like, oh my God, okay, that's interesting. I had an experience and I shared. So, you know, that's collaborative approach. And especially as women, we're targeting women for that. We sometimes, men do this, you know, they just come together and they just knock ideas off, you know, each other, and they just decide to hit the ground running. We sometimes say, let me see, I'm not sure, you know, we scrutinize and we, we make all this stuff up, when we can just come together and collaborate. And large organizations do that. They have conversation. That is why you have, it's different in every country, but like when you think about the stock exchange, it's made up, their board is made up of the heads of all of these investment houses. Banking associations are the same thing. They're made up of CEOs of the different banks across the region, because when they come together, they share ideas, they take it, and then they implement in their various companies. It's no different from us as entrepreneurs. The coming together is also a very good strategy, because you're all targeting different persons, but that is something that I think as entrepreneurs, we need to do more of.
What is a way, and you gave us already a pointer on how to do it, you know, to already have your goals set, to send it out before your meeting, and then also to already get the input maybe from the people before you extract it from them before you ask questions or have the meeting. Are there any other ways to prepare to collaborate? Like because I know a lot of times, like you said, when you get together, then everybody got something to say and it can be kind of crazy. So how can you streamline your meetings better?
Yeah, so I think it starts from the planning for me, because, and this is how I think about it. You're going into your year, say your calendar year, and you start thinking about, okay, at the end of this year, what does success looks like for me? It looks like, and I'm just using money, guys. I mean, for many of us, it's different. I'm looking at earning $100,000 at the end of the year. Okay, who do I need to reach in order to meet that 100,000? All right, I need to meet 50 clients. So you identify those things from the get-go, and then you look at where are you now? And your 50 clients could be, how am I going to reach them? I may not be able to reach them by myself, but I can collaborate. I can bring Kristen on, and Kristen can talk about her thing. Kristen audience meets my audience meets Kristen audience. And then I start talking to other people. And then little by little, because we can't serve everybody, little by little, my audience starts growing. So in the planning, you start identifying those activities. Okay, I need to find a community who does art, if that's what you're in. I need to find a community who does nonprofit, if that's what you're in. But it comes out in the planning. It's not just sitting down today and thinking that I'm going to do that next week.
Right.
It comes out in the planning. So if you are thinking of where you want to be, you think about where you are now, that gap in the middle that you need to work on, that's where you kind of refine the activities and agree on the how. One of the how could be collaboration. One of the how could be, all right, I need to talk to my team more and have my team know about what I'm going to be doing. One of the how could be, I need to get feedback from my clients to see how I'm serving them. One of the hows could be, I'm going on social media, but it does come out in the planning and it looks completely different for everybody else.
Awesome. This is some good stuff, Michelle. Definitely. Guys, I hope you guys are really embracing and listening to Michelle, because Michelle has so much insight. And I want to ask you because I know that you're an expert in this. When you just say as a CEO and you're organizing your day, a lot of these women that are running a business or want to start running business, they may be having a side job. They maybe want to start their business from the beginning. And I know that you specialize in helping start up businesses. So what are maybe the top 3 things that a young entrepreneur can do to start their day? And even a seasoned entrepreneur, if they're not, say, fully in order, what are top 3 things that they could do to get their day in a good place?
All right. So the first thing, and I can only tell you from my experience, right? And what has worked for me and what has not worked. So center your day. Wake up with intention that you are going to feed you first. Because life is out there waiting. If I open my door and I go on the road, there are a million things. So wake up and center your day. Figure out, what am I going to be about today? And be intentional about that. Be committed to it. So whether it is you're going to take 5 minutes. For me this morning, after I finished workout, I just sat outside and ate an orange. That was my cooling down. I gave myself that gift, and then now I was pumped for the rest of my day. Right. And it goes every day. Get the things that you want to have out of your head. And at the end of the day, so you're going to wake up and center your day. You're going to identify the goals that you're going to be working on. What am I going to be focused on today to completion? And if you had 3 things and you did 1, that's okay. I'm going to do this to completion. And at the end of the day, do some reflection. Did it work? Did it not work? What do I need to shift? That's your time in thinking about what you were able to do. But I want to focus on do it to completion, because sometimes we have things that we plan. So you may have 5 things on your list. Yeah. You're only able to do 1 to completion. That's great. At the end of the day, you can sit back and think about, after you celebrate something that you completed, you then look back and say, okay, why didn't it work? What are things I need to shift in my day? Because oftentimes we make big plans for our days and we don't know that other things are happening, and that is okay, but do something to completion. But take some time for yourself. Don't jump up and go on social media and and some of us can't help it. We have kids, and the kids run in the room and they start our day for us. Yes. But if it's even after they get a shower and you run to the bathroom for 5 minutes, check in with yourself. Check in with yourself, because if you don't check in with yourself and decide how you are going to impact the world is going to make that decision for you.
That's good. The good stuff. Good stuff. Check in the day. Oh, it stalled a little bit. Okay, there we go. We back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you said center your day is one thing. What would be another?
Center your day. So for me, so this is how my week goes. I normally plan for the week. And I don't have a list of to-dos. I have goals that I want to achieve by the end of the week. So maybe by the end of the week, I would have wanted to, and I'm just using a random example, I want to do 3 lives. Or by the end of the week, I want to reach out to 15 clients or whatever that is. I set it for the week because sometimes you don't know, you may have a day like today where you're able to go at it. Tomorrow may be a different thing. So I have my goals for the week. So that's what I'm looking on. So when I look on that, I mean, at the beginning of the day, I say, okay, where am I with my goals that I set? Which one can I do today, or which 2 can I do today? The entrepreneurs that you have on, they may be doing different things. I have my 9 to 5 along with my coaching practice. So therefore, for me, having everything in my calendar is also very important because I don't miss things. So even if I need to take my son to football, it's in my calendar. Because then I get an alarm when I'm in a meeting and I know, okay, I need to wrap this up because in 30 minutes, I need to get going. So, you know, having a goal for the week helps. So when you wake up every morning, you can do a self-check to see where you are, what's left for you to do, and then you focus on that, you know, and then you're checking in at the end of every day to say, okay, what was I not able to do? But these are habits. And if I can share something quickly, Kristen,
Go ahead.
I had this thought this morning. You know, I woke up and I was going to exercise and I was like, oh my God, you know, I wish I could just lay in bed and not get up. And the thought dawned on me that when you hear persons talk about, you know, successful people, there are some habits that they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're training your brain to do something differently.
Right.
You know, so for me, I think about when I'm waking up and I'm going against the feeling of wanting to lay down, or I wake up at 5 a.m. to go running and outside is jet black and I still go because I committed to a friend. I'm developing habits of following through on promises I made to myself. So when I'm getting ready to do something in my business, my brain has that recollection and it pulls it forward to say, yeah, man, you've done this before. It's like parasailing, or let's use bungee jumping. Well, I've done parasailing, I've not done bungee jumping, but the first time I was going to do it, my brain was like, oh, hell no, you're going to fall. And I did it and I was okay. So the next time I go to do it, my brain will say, you've done this before and you were okay. This thing, yeah. It then rolls over in every area of your life where I promised this person I was going to do this. I promised myself I was going to do this. I promised my clients I was going to do this. You keep being that person. Yeah. And it becomes a part of you. Knowing my alarm goes off, I don't snooze. I may roll over and hug my husband for a few, but I don't snooze. I get up and I'm working out. So, you know, you want to create those habits in your life where you're being committed to a process and a flow, and figure out what flow works for you. So figure out what works for you. Kristen kids are different from mine. They're healthy, they have a personality, they're bubbly, and they're energetic. You may have those kids, so your schedule needs to look different from somebody else who has older kids and they can give them and they stay in the background and do their work. So it's really, really important, entrepreneurs, I'm looking at you while I talk, that you're not trying to copy somebody else's, but, you know, center your day, set your goals for the week, wake up every morning and look at where you are with your goals and see what is working. And at the end of every day, do a self-check and get support. I know you asked for 3, but there's just so much.
No, that's good. That's good.
But you know, I can provide a list of, you know, that as well, so entrepreneurs can have that to use.
Thank you. That's look. See, y'all getting more gifts. Thank you, Michelle. So a self-check daily list or something like that. Thank you so much. It's you know, you've helped me personally. You know, just even, you know, me running. I run a real estate company, and just you know, like you said with the kids, and it's like, how do you narrow your day down? How do you get everything organized to get things done? And really the stuff that you've helped me to do, it has helped bring a lot of peace, inner peace, like, okay, I'm not just frustrated and okay, what's next? So I'm grateful for that, Michelle, that you have literally your strategic ideas and input have helped me to be a better person, a better leader, entrepreneur. And so if you guys want confidence and to build your confidence, definitely start centering your day and get those things and listen to what Michelle is saying, because she knows what she's talking about, guys. Michelle, I want to ask you this question. It'll be probably our last question, but where would I would say what would be your top 3 books or 3 things that you look at to get the information to learn how you've learned, or what 3 books would you recommend that the ladies read?
All right, so there's one, and it may sound cliche, but I know a lot of persons read it. Think and Grow Rich.
I'm reading that.
Yes. The War of Arts is another one that I read recently that I absolutely love, because so many of these books it's about behavior and our thinking.
Mhm.
And I know sometimes we're looking for the tactical things, like how to do them, and the how to do we can find online. The how to do, it's your mind and how you think and how you apply the things that you learn that makes it different. And there's another leadership book that I have, which it's about the 4 disciplines of execution, 4DX. And that gives me tools as to how it is I execute. And execute is just getting things done. It's good when you come up with ideas. A lot of us have ideas, but the execution of it is where a lot of the dreams die. When you think about how you need to implement and how you need to set your goals and how you need to monitor your goals, and that part of it sometimes is where the challenge exists. So, learning from others, getting your mindset right, and getting books that have the tools, that helps me a lot, both on the corporate side, and then I'm able to translate it so that an entrepreneur can understand it in a simpler language, so they don't feel overwhelmed or confused.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. And so you do have a free gift for them as well. Not
Yes.
the one you just said, but you already had something else. So you give
And then who to tell when no problem. And then when it goes live, there may be more. So I want to offer you 30-minute consultation where you're able to sit with me and talk about just about anything. I mean, we can work something out. If you're having a specific challenge in your business, you're having a specific challenge in organizing your day, you're having a specific challenge in growing, you name it, you can come and have a conversation with me. And in that conversation, I have another gift that I told Kristen I'm working on, which is your business starter kit, where it will give you 5 different steps with the different templates that you can complete to kickstart or to grow your business to the next level.
Woo! Go, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
And how can the ladies reach you, Michelle?
So I'm on all social media platforms at Strategy with Michelle, and I'm sure it will be right below this video. And you can also check me out at www.strategywithmichelle.com. So it's Strategy with Michelle all the way. So just type that in and you'll find me on Google.
Thank you, Michelle. Strategy with Michelle. You're awesome. Thank you for your input and information. Ladies, check her out, and many blessings, continued blessings to you and to what you are doing for the world.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you for having me. And ladies, I hope you were helped, and I hope you continue pushing. Continue, don't stop. We're not stopping, so don't stop. And you get to ask for support. So I hope you're utilizing all the wonderful experts that Kristen is bringing onto this summit, and I hope that something changes for you.
Yay, thank you.